Secret Service Director, soon-to-be ex-director Julia Pierson was on the hot seat today in front of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. Did you see any of that? I was fascinated. Democrats and Republicans. Now, that's the committee that's chaired by the unspeakable Darrell Issa. I think it's Darrell Issa, yeah. But to see the members of the House of Representatives, Democrats and Republicans, just taking out the long knives, which they should have. Yeah, I talked about this last night. I have a feeling that the Secret Service has become this incompetent sewer where totally ineffective and untrained and dumbasses who like to party and get high and hang out with prostitutes group has assembled, or it's working under orders from Dick Cheney. Either one is a distinct possibility to me, but then, you know, I'm a little bit off kilter most of the time about this stuff. But there she was, Director Pierson, getting reamed, so to speak, with the long knives by Democrats and Republicans alike, and you know, trying to find out why a guy with a knife made it as far in as he made it. I mean, Jesus. See, we weren't told this, and I don't think the Obamas were either. First, the Secret Service incompetent freak asses said that no weapon. Of course he had a weapon. He only made it to the front portico. No, he made it in and made a left turn and then made a right. And, you know, geez, it's just unbelievable. And Pierson, if you watched her, she's a type of government functionary that just drives me crazy. I can't stand people like that. You know, the answers were just, is there a book published someplace on how to give vague, formulaic, bureaucratese answers, no matter what the question is? There must be, because so many of those people talk alike. But she was starting to drive me crazy. I mean, it was just like, I kept watching because I was just fascinated. I was just waiting for somebody in that committee to jump over the tables and chairs and reach down with their necktie and try to strangle her. It was that weird. So when she was asked how in the hell somebody with a weapon made it that far in the White House, she said, "It's unacceptable." Oh, you know, this is what a lot of these people do, whether in the military, the National Intelligence Service, you know, the spies, something like this, Internal Revenue, whatever. When they're caught in a situation that displays not only their incompetence, their inability as leaders, this woman and so many of these people in positions of leadership in the government should be cashiered. They should just be thrown out. Here, go back to being a barista at Starbucks or something. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know what I'm saying. To put people like this in any kind of position of power or authority where they have a budget, please. So, but because what they always say is, you know, a member of Congress, freaks that they are. I mean, I don't give a rat's ass about these members of Congress either. I mean, they're just freaks and liars and cheats and sneaks and corporate toads. But if you suspend all that and just watch and pretend to yourself, what does democracy look like? This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what, you know, if you let yourself get into that just momentarily, and forget the fact that we live in a crumbling democratic republic with rising fascism. If you just suspend that for a while and appreciate the sick humor of what you're watching, you'll appreciate it more. That's the only way I can do it is just sit there fascinated. It's like when I was a kid. And I know that I've built up some karma that's going to hit me someday for doing this. But when I was a kid, there was a factory right next to our house, a potato chip factory, and there were spider webs in the windows, the windows that were recessed, and it was a brick building. And in those recesses, there were spider webs. So I would get on the ground and I'd find the ants, and I would, with my little 6-year-old fingers, I'd pick up an ant and I'd drop it in that spider web. And the ant if an ant could think, would probably think, oh, damn. So the ant would try to get away, and of course, here comes the spider. And the spider is like 1,000 times bigger than the ant, and would just go, So I'm sure that I've built up some kind of real bad karma for that. And that's the same thing as I watched director Julia Pierson. Is like, I was fascinated because I'm thinking, you know, she reminds me of the ant that got caught in the web when I was a kid, that I put in the web repeatedly. And the spiders are coming. Here they come, and they're going to get her. You watch. Within, what, a week, 10 days? First, Obama will say he has complete trust and respect for all the members of the Secret Service, even the ones that allow bullets to fly into the residence part of the White House, where Obama and the First Lady and his 2 daughters live. Oh, I have great respect for them. And then he'll say that, you know, he stands behind Miss Pierson, and then all of a sudden she'll read a letter at a press briefing saying that, you know, her family needs her or something, so she's going to resign. She said at the hearing, not only did she say it's unacceptable, she said, I'll make sure that it does not happen again. Oh, isn't that sweet? Really? You're good? Cross your fingers? Pinky promise? You'll never let it happen again? Honest? Cross your heart, hope to die? She disclosed that there have been 6 fence jumpers this year alone. Radical idea. Build a bigger fence. But, and as some of the members of that committee, I imagine they were probably all Democrats, pointed out, this president has gotten, what, 3, 4, 6, 20, 1,000 times more threats than any president prior. And let me see, why would that be? He's a Democrat. No. He's young? No. Oh, that's right. He's an African American. God. Committee Chairman Darrell Issa said, the fact is the system broke down. An intruder walked in the front door of the White House, and that is unacceptable. How on earth did that happen? This failure has tested the trust of the American people in the Secret Service, a trust we clearly depend on to protect the president, end quote. You know, I was listening to that, and I was listening to Republicans, and I thought, you hypocritical, cheesy bastards, you. Not that I care. But to listen to this, all of a sudden, this newfound and deeply emotional concern for the health and safety and well-being of the President of the United States, you know, the African-American guy, and his daughters and his wife, the one who's been driving them crazy with ideas like, how about healthy food in the schools? Oh, no, none of that. So all of a sudden, ta-da! We are very concerned that the President of the United States was very close to some trouble. And we think... So I watched it for a while. And it left me with the total, clear, complete understanding that nothing works in this country anymore that's supposed to. Nothing. I don't care if it's bridges. I don't care if it's cruise ships. I don't care if it's a committee in Congress. I don't care if it's a federal agency. You know, the only thing that does work is whatever the corporate fascists want to work. That's all. The rest of it, nah. The intruder, the one that they started out talking about, penetrated what is jokingly referred to as 5 rings of security. 5 rings of security protecting what is supposed to be one of the world's most secure properties. And if you've seen that video of the guy running across the lawn, and nobody doing anything. You know, where are the great big howling dogs? You know, the Dobermans. Where were they? Where were the German Shepherds? Where were the pit bulls that have been trained to go after an intruder and rip his goddamn throat out? Where were they? Somewhere else? I don't know. Where was the roving SWAT team that's supposed to walk around the grounds of the White House 24/7? Taking a leak? Where was the sniper team on the roof that is supposed to, the one or two or three of them, that's supposed to having a smoking a joint? We'll be right back.